What's going on, everybody? I'm Patrick from PALX, and I'm excited to say we're finally back on the interwebs. In this video, I'm going to be doing a little update of what I've been doing all spring, mainly all the highlights from coaching Grandview, and I'm going to give you guys a look into what to expect all summer from PALX. So first and foremost, I'm just going to say that I'm in no way sorry for my absence whatsoever. I always seem to see these people on YouTube and Instagram who, the big one is like, oh my god, I got bogged down with schoolwork, sorry I haven't been updating my Instagram or my YouTube feeds, and I'm sitting here going, your homework and your real life stuff is what is important to you. Why would you ever apologize for doing that? And so this last spring, I took a job and I wanted to reinvigorate a kind of struggling lacrosse program, and in no way am I apologetic for doing that whatsoever. That definitely takes precedence. Coaching is what I love to do, and I would never feel sorry about that. So as we get to it, I'm going to tell you guys a bunch about how things kind of went with Grandview. A little background. First off, 6-9 last year, a lot of trouble in the program. Parents weren't happy, players weren't having fun. Took it over in the fall. And we, worked our butts off, went in the box a lot, and ended up 12-4 this season. I'm going to give you guys some highlights, kind of what we did to really build the program, as well as go over some of the best times of the season, including a bunch of highlights. I know there are going to be a couple highlights I definitely want you guys to see, so let's get right to it. One of the first things that comes to mind when I think about Grandview and the change in culture that we had to do was, before anything actually happens, you have to have a slogan, a thing to work for, to strive for. And so what we did is I got together with a bunch of the players who I knew really cared in the fall, and we decided on a slogan, One Pack. And what One Pack means is that from freshmen to seniors, with all the parents, the total community, we're all together in the same goals. And the goals are not just lacrosse goals. It's, it's being a good person. It's handling what you need to do. It's being accountable and really giving your best, the best of you, so that you feel good about what you were doing and other people really understand that you are there for them. So once we had that one pack mentality, we had a ton of meetings where we'd listen to something motivational, some speech, something, and the kids would get to kind of talk about what that meant to them. And one of the biggest, most important meetings we had was our junior-senior meeting. And to give you some background, the junior class we have this year is unbelievably talented. They are some amazing lacrosse players, and the seniors felt like they were just kind of skipped over, and they had been for the entire time they'd been there. So bringing them all together where they could actually talk about the seniors got to talk about, I really feel like we deserve our shot, we can do it, and the juniors got to talk about, well, if you feel that way, you got to put the work in. I know one of our players was kind of accused of just being really cocky and not really caring about any of the other kids. And that might have been true the previous season, but this season, that particular player really, rose above himself and showed a very caring nature towards all of his teammates. It was absolutely amazing to see. Another way that we brought the community together and our culture just really lived up was I invited for our spring games, I invited all the parents and all the Grandview supporters down onto the field so that I could address them about the game and kind of what's been going on after every single game. This was probably one of the best and most scary decisions I've ever made, because, after a game, especially if you're really frustrated, it's really kind of intimidating to have all the parents and the people who are there looking to you for kind of what happened during the game. And definitely one of the best things I decided to do. But so what we do is the players would kneel in front of all the parents and supporters, and then we talk about the game, how it went, and we choose one player who, really did amazing that game. And then that player would break us all down as a community. So, having the parents actually an integral part of what was going on was just unbelievable to see. The next thing that was, kind of tough in the beginning was to develop accountability, because there really was no accountability the previous season. So, and I'm just going to give one example of this. You can do it in a ton of different ways, but if you, so what I said is that players aren't going to be at practice, they're not going to be at study hall, they're not going to be somewhere, they have to text me and let me know. And this is a huge, just basic life skill, because I understand that when you can't be somewhere, it's kind of hard to you feel bad about it, so then you don't want to actively like reach out and let somebody know. But if you have a job and you no call, no show, you're not going to have that job for long. So it's a very great skill to have to, feel that uncomfortable I can't go thing, and then, tell the people who it matters to. You just have to be able to do that. The next thing really was getting the players to work together, and this is something that if kids have never done it before, it's really hard to instill in them, because they, last year, watching some of the highlights, there were, not too many assisted goals. It was a lot of driving, maybe one guy cut and they had a nice feed and they scored, but there was no orchestration, there was no options. But so having the kids really understand when they're dodging how to move the ball and how to look for not the first goal, second goal, or like first shot, second shot, third shot, and to really play together was absolutely unbelievable to see. So that's kind of some of the stuff that I used to kind of reinvigorate the program, and it absolutely worked wonders. So now we're going to go over some of the things that I really enjoyed about the season, some of the just highlights and other things like that. First thing that jumps out at me is something that was amazing this year is that we won every single one-goal game we had, and that really speaks to the players working together and really believing that we can get the job done. One-goal games are really finicky. If all of your players believe you're going to win, you've got a great shot at winning. We came back with 3 minutes left against Mullen to down by 2 to win the game in overtime, and that was one of the just most amazing things ever. And so here are some highlights from that. The next big thing that, it was another one-goal game was our trip to Aspen. So we couldn't go down to Florida for spring break, so we just went up to Aspen and played Aspen in Aspen. And a couple cool things from this, we were down by, I think 7 7 at the half, maybe 5 at the half, but we scored 9 unanswered goals to come back and win. Another kind of cool thing from Aspen was we got a mascot called Wilbur. Our starting long pole, Dylan, went to Sprouts and just bought a pineapple. And they called this pineapple Wilbur and put some sunglasses on him, made him a Twitter, and in the first day he had like 100 followers on Twitter. It was just ridiculous. But so them being able to have fun with that was just, what an unbelievable thing. And Wilbur is actually the reason why we got to go to 9 News, because Julia Lopez from 9 News saw this new freaking Twitter account and saw how good we were doing during the season and invited us over to 9 News. So here's some stuff with Wilbur and our trip to 9 News and our trip to Aspen. last but not least, we're going to talk about kind of what to expect from PALAX this summer, and we're going to be doing, the coaching thing really like took me over this spring, and I'm really excited to be coaching a lot, and so we're going to make some fun and new wall ball videos, some shooting videos, and the whole part of this is going to be during the off season actually really getting work done. So when you go to the wall, when you go out to shoot, is a bunch of ways that you can improve and not just be there screwing around. Like, for sure, go screw around, but for 15 minutes, really be dedicated to your craft and really do some stuff that will help you out in every way. And so I've got a bunch of cool ideas about how to do that, and so that's what you guys can expect from PALAX this summer. Thank you guys again for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Let me know if you guys need any custom mesh, anything other like that, and have a great week. I will see you guys next time.
My town, trust me, I'm my INDEPENDENT shit hustling, chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4